Hi, it's Lynne with Soft Squares. It is Saturday. It's time for the Saturday situation. I have a bunch of things to share. Hi, it's time for the Saturday situation. It's a weekly video just to catch you up on what's going on over here. I have some fabric hauls or small subscriptions that I will show here. So let's talk about what's going on this week. First thing is the obvious. These are my cathedral blocks. So all of these are curved, and this is from a Maker's Monday a couple weeks ago. And now I have all the blocks up on the wall. It goes clear over to here. And I'm going to kind of rearrange them and see how they fit. As you can see, they're all different sizes. So some of them are going to have another border on them or something. I mean, maybe I'll do this. I make one big one and then put a border around it. I don't really know. I'm going to just play with all of them. And then I have several of these little guys, and they happen to all be green. So they'll get kind of worked in, and I have a lot of the white, this fabric right here with the polka dots in it. You can see it on this one. I have yardage of that white. So that's what's going to go between things. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm working on Monday's project for Maker's Monday. It is this quilt out of the Fat Quarter Quilting Fun from Fabric Cafe. Uses fat quarters, and you guys helped me decide which one to make, and I'm going to do this with some fabric from my husband's college, his university. Alright, so I have these design boards and they're stacked, and what I'm doing is I've gone through all of my RebsFabStash blocks that they've given me over the last year, and I have actually gone through and cut the fabric out for each of them and got everything here just ready for me to sew. Lately I've been in the mood to just cut, so that's what's going on. So anyway, I've got this one right here, which was applique. So now I just need to go through and do the blanket stitch around it and give him some legs. And so that block actually is almost done. That same month, another one came out. They did, good grief. There were 3 different bird blocks. This is the paper pieced block. And so I printed out my pattern, and I have cut all of the pieces needed to put that together. And they are all right here. It's just a matter of building it. So he's going to be kind of a tie-dye bird. But it is this guy right here. The 3rd block is right here. And this is a pieced bird block. Again, everything's cut out, all the different sizes. And this one actually gives you cutting instructions for piecing it versus the paper piecing. Anyway, so I've got the 3 different types of birds, all from that same month, and I've got them together. Let's see if I can do this. One month they had this one, Sadie's Mountain. So I've cut everything out and I have it laid out the way it needs to be. It's just a matter of making my half square triangles and building the block. This actually will come together nicely and very quick. This one right here is a patchwork leaf block. And again, everything is cut out for it. I have more than one on some of these. So this is everything for that. And this is the Adele in Fall fabric line. And then here's the other one. This is what just came out the Love Letter to Paris block, and everything is cut out for that and the instructions. So I have a system where everything's cut out and then the pattern on top of it, and then I was able to double up by putting the cutout pieces and the pattern on top of that. And this goes right here. This is this block right here. It's a patchwork heart block. So everything's been cut out. These are going to be half square triangles. I've already pressed them and pinned them, so I just have to go and make the half square triangles. And that's what that is. Underneath it is another block, and it is the pencil block. This pattern came with 2 different pencil options. Actually, I can move the paper. Oh, okay, it came with these 2 options, option 1 and option 2. I had enough fabric to cut out one of each, and I'm not sure if that was intended, but instead of picking option 1 and option 1 or 2, I picked both. So I have all of those cut out, and they each have their own instruction sheets. So option 1 is here, option 2 is here. Nope, sorry, 1 has the eraser. 1 is here and 2 is here. They're gonna go together different. They have different pattern designers, and that will be fun. All right, so put these guys back over there. I have this block right here, the tulip block. It is a Riley Blake design. The fabric for it is right here, so I have all of the different colors of the background and sizes. And then these are the tulip colors. And it happens to be sitting on the instructions for the next block. Let's see if I can do this without disrupting my system. There we go. And then this is the next block. So I have everything for that right here. That will go quickly. Let's see here. Now I can put these on top of this. Oh, they're not labeled, but they're all different sizes, so I'm hoping I don't have any problems. Should be okay because I have my cutting instructions with everything. All right, and then there's the watermelon block. It has a paper piece template. This one had 2 options. I don't think there was enough to do both. I decided to just do this one. Pretty sure there's not enough to do both. But who knows, I may still make this one. But it came with the paper piece template, and you want to make a copy before you cut into it. So that's my copy that I'm going to be using as I cut into this. And here's my fabric, and it even comes with the buttons for the watermelon seeds. Again, I'm going to make this one. All right, so that goes on top of that one. This last one is also an applique block. I have already cut the pieces out, appliqued them on here, and now what's left is to do my stitching around it, and then this block is done. So I have this template. They also sent the stabilizer, and like I said, got everything here, and it's just a matter of finishing. I think I'm going to put this by the other applique block because they will come together nice and quickly together. And I have a couple other just solo blocked type projects that I want to add. So what I'm going to do is put all of these into one quilt. It'll be kind of scrappy. And so I'm saving all of my scraps from this, and I will be using them to incorporate things to kind of hold everything together, if that made any sense at all. Okay, so this applique block is right here. Applique block. And these are paper piece. Okay, so sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Now, here is one that's from my girlfriend's quilt shop. They have a Pillow of the Month program, and they have these really cute kits. So I picked this up in their store. This is actually a large apple. I believe it's a 12 by 12. Yeah, it's a 12 by 12 pillow, so it's not terribly big, but it'll be great to use in my scrappy block right here. Everything is cut out for it, and here's my extra pieces of it. There's a lot of the extra, so maybe I'll make more than one. Or this will be really, really good for incorporating throughout my quilt. So it has all these little squares for my apple in the background. And all the other fabric for the RebsFabStash I actually have in its own little place, where this one I kept without. I have this that's similar to this, where all the pieces are cut out in the right size. I had shown this to you last week quickly. I haven't made anything out of this yet, but my goal is to pull this out. I've labeled this as block number 8, and I have them here in the order that they were released. And so I just labeled the 8th block, number 8, and 10, 9, 8. And then you make 2 to get it to look like this. You can do whatever you want, but I have actually cut out 2. And here's my instructions for assembling it. I walked you through that. But in here I have everything actually cut out. So it's not just the fabric in the right size. It is, oh, and I pinned it. So I've got 2 different sets here. Each of these will make a stocking block. So I'm ready to just sit and sew with this whole quilt. This is something I do plan on just kind of working on throughout the year. Maybe get it done by fall, if not sooner. I think it'll be sooner because this is in a stage where it can go quickly. So there's that project. I've also started the next project for Maker's Monday, and I can't tell you anything about it yet, but I'm in work in progress with that, and I'm excited. But I want to show you a quilt pattern that I was able to get. It didn't print off very well, so it comes off down here, but it's called Nordic Delight. This is from the American Patchwork and Quilting magazine, and it is a free download, but you have to log into your account to get to it. So I don't know if you guys can get to it. That's what I had to do to get to it, but look how pretty this is. It's two-tone. So what I'm doing with this, sorry, I have about 10 yards of this really pretty burgundy fabric that I thought would be really good for a backing, but I'm also thinking that might be perfect for this with a white. This takes 7.5 yards of a color, so I needed yardage and something solid, and I think this will be pretty. So I'm getting that put together. I also have another one. I don't know if you remember this fabric from a few weeks ago. This has like dictionary words, and I can't even tell if I'm holding it right side up or not, but it's white on white. It's really hard to see, but there's quite a bit of it. I need like 4.5 yards for this project right here of white. And I'm gonna use this fat quarter. I need 12. This is not gonna be fun and bright. And pink is the color that goes throughout all this. And so I'm gonna use this on my binding. I love a stripe on the binding. And then I need this as an accent color. And this came out of the American Patchwork Quilting and Quilting catalog, but I'm going to modify this, and I'm going to eventually, when I put this together, explain how to make it. And the dimensions might be different because we're not going to follow the pattern, but it's inspired by this. So there's large rectangles with an accent fabric and then white sashing and a border. Look how simple that is. So I'm going to use this as my little sashing between the blocks. This will be my binding. And then here's the blocks. Wouldn't that be cute for a little girl or someone who likes pink? So I'm getting that one together and we'll be starting that one soon. That'll probably end up in a Maker's Monday just because I will be recreating that and I want to share. This week's reflection quilt block is going to be this yellow, kind of an olive green. I have not done anything with it this week other than pull it out and have it ready for the strips to be sewn together. So I know what I'm doing and it's ready to go. I just need to switch my thread out. That's why I haven't finished last week's block, which is in a farther state. I want a darker thread. I have white in my machine right now. So I'm right now sewing things that are white and then I'll be running things through that have a color. The quilt that I did this last Monday, on Maker's Monday, I am sending that off to the quilter. And I have some good and some bad news related to that. Good news is I found a backing for it. Bad news is it's because a store is going out of business. Let me show you. It's Tuesday morning. They have over 400 stores and they're closing about 200 of them. And there's 4 stores in Utah and 1 is up the street from my house and those are all closing. So in about 6 weeks or 5 weeks, the store will be closed. So I am taking advantage of their misfortune and I bought this oversized plush blanket at a discount. So this is 98 by 92. It's going to be the back to this quilt. And I think that'll be really pretty. Now until it's actually done, I could change my mind. But I like that. I just do. So this will go into, this is my border. Binding, sorry, my binding. And it's going to match the border, which is folded in here. I can't even find it. There we go. There's the border. The binding will match. Okay, so like I said, I'm very sad, but I did pick up a couple other large fleece. These are actually microfiber polyester. Anyway, a couple more of these to use in my large quilts. Depends on what colors I need. And I didn't have anything that was going to work for this, and then that happened. So I took advantage of Tuesday morning and the prices that they had in there. I am in the middle of making this quilt, which is what's up on the wall behind me. Isn't it funny how things look so different with different types of fabrics? So stick around, that's coming out next Monday. And I have a pattern I've been working on right now. Everything, I have all my strip sets made and labeled. And then it's just a matter of, I just have to press these. Pressing them, attaching my rows. And this is going to be on the small side, and they had throw size blankets. And there's a black one that I'm going to go back and get to be on the back side of this, which I think will be perfect because then he can take it to games and it'll be warm. He can also snuggle up with it at home. This is for my husband. I might end up putting borders. Come back on Monday and you'll see what's going on with that. I wrote a pattern and this is it. It is available for free on my website, which is softsquares.com. Go under products and then patterns, and this and some other free patterns are there. So you can go get that. And it was the same quilt that was in the Maker's Monday video earlier in this week. And it's called 4 Squared. Also started cutting into another quilt that is inspired, try to find it, through American Patchwork Quilting. They have a free pattern for subscribers and it's called Scrappy Rectangles. I'm taking the idea from this and I'm creating another quilt very similar, and I'm using the fabrics from Adele in Fall, and here are all my pieces cut up. And this will be a Maker's Monday project coming up, but that's going to be really pretty fall. It's going to be super easy, and I will either come out with the instructions for you or let you know how you can get this pattern, but watch for that. I got my Cotton Cuts thread subscription. This is a monthly subscription that I prepaid for. I think it goes just a couple more months, but because it's so small, I include it in with my Saturday situation. But it is from Cotton Cuts. It always comes like this cute little box, and each month is a different color, and this month the colors are pink. You get a block of the month. You also, oops, sorry, this is a block of the month, and you also get a free pattern, and you get to pick from one of those two with the secret word that I've got my finger over. And if you would like both of them, you just pay for the other one, but you also have access to all their other patterns, including past patterns, and those are always available to purchase when you go into the same place to pick that out. So you do get a pattern every month. But now let's look at this fabric closer. It makes sense that it's pink. They all come taped together so they don't rattle around in the little box. So we always get a white, and then we have different colors of pinks. Probably don't need the white there for what I'm doing. Here are the pinks. Oh my goodness. All right, so there are the pinks. And then it also comes with the variegated. And this is the variegated, and then there's the white over there. Let's make it so you actually see the thread. How about that? There. So this is a 12 weight thread. It is heavier. It is great for embroidery, especially because it gives you that thicker weight thread. One more thing that came with the Cotton Cuts thread subscription is a pencil, and this month it says So Creative. You always get a pencil. Okay, I have something to show you. I placed an order with Missouri Star Quilt Company, and looks like I ordered a kit. So the kit has 3 pieces of fabric in it, and it has this animal print. And it has these geometric shapes. And it has this, which is like a border panel with a little bit of both. So they call it a kit, but I think that you probably need more to make anything out of them, but that will be kind of fun. So again, the border, the gray, and the geometric. And this is called Can Animals Count? I also picked up 2 of each of these. This is by Moda. It's called Happiness Blooms by Deb Strand. And you can get an idea of how pretty that looks. I'll try to put a card up to show you what that line looks like. Got 2. I also picked up 2 Shadow Play by Maywood Studio. And that's what these are. Again, I'll try to put a card up to show you what everything is. Pretty 2 of those. And then the last thing of fabric was collection CF, which is Carolyn Friedlander, Soft Color Story. This is by Robert Kaufman. And they all have a little bit of a print to them. Anyway, I'll put a swatch of this up on the screen for you to see. Two of those. Two of those. Two of those. And then the last little thing I picked up is called a quick cut. It looks like a pair of scissors, but it's not. You can see it on its side. It actually mounts to what you need it to, like the wall or the sewing machine or a study surface, and then you can come down. The blade is in between, so if you have some long threads, here's a close-up picture that's a better example of what I'm trying to describe. Comes down and is a thread cutter. It looks like a pair of scissors. Stick-on cutter. Don't forget, I've got some free patterns for you, and I would love your feedback to know if the patterns are easy to read or follow. I think the very first pattern that I put out is a bit rough. Hopefully the last two will be a lot easier, but I would love your feedback. So if you want to play with them, go to softsquares.com, and then under products, I have patterns as a subcategory, and there's 4 free patterns in there. One of them is the machine cover from my girlfriend's quilt shop, and you can, you know, see how the dimensions are to create that, as well as, you know, how to make this block, because that's what these are, is the little blocks up to these for that. But anyway, I did not write that pattern, but the other three that are in there, I did. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Please come back every Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain for another update on what's going on over here. And don't forget to check out my other videos. Thanks for being here. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'll see you soon.